To work a little, to hurt a little.
Hey everyone, welcome to the We Are the Cure for Ava, Imani, and Tahir, Stayfresh, Ali. My name is Constance Benson, and I am a sickle cell advocate. I'm cured of sickle cell disease, and I'm a bone marrow transplant advocate.
Hi, I'm Mal, and I am a leukemia soldier, and I am a marrow donor advocate.
So, every year, thousands of people in the United States are diagnosed with life-threatening blood disorders, such as leukemia, sickle cell anemia, or 70 other serious diseases. For these diseases, often the only cure is a life-saving stem cell or bone marrow transplant.
In the first place that a patient searches for a donor is from a family member, or unfortunately, only about 30% of people find a matching donor from a family member.
The remaining 70% have to find a matching donor from the National Bone Marrow Registry. Currently, there are over 12,000 patients searching for a life-saving donor.
Only 23% of African Americans in search of a donor are able to find a donor off the list, as compared to 77% of whites. Only 4% of the registry is Black. It's up to you and me to help them find a match. They can't do it alone.
For every 430 people who join the registry, one person will go on to be a life-saving marrow donor. But that means we have to build up the registry so that more African Americans will have a better chance of surviving these illnesses.
And that's why we're here today, to tell you about how you can be a part of this very important life-saving mission. We're looking for African Americans between the ages of 18 through 44. So Constance, you are a survivor. You are a survivor of sickle cell anemia.
Yes.
And how did that come about? I understand you were one of the first to try some groundbreaking research.
Yes. So it's a crazy story. I was living my best life. I was in Georgia State at school, and then I got sick and took some time off because I was already missing classes anyway. And during that time that I got sick, I got a modeling contract with Wilhelmina and Concha Hawkins, and I live in Kennesaw, Georgia. So I would drive from here all the way up to New Jersey where my grandmother stays. And I think that's about 13-hour drive. And then from there, I go to model in Pennsylvania, where Concha Hawkins is. And then I come back, and then I go straight into the ER as soon as I got home. So I did that for about like 9 months, and then my body just couldn't take it anymore. And I started the process of getting a bone marrow transplant. And in doing so, I was the first person cured of sickle cell disease via the STRIDE HCP bone marrow transplant study. It was very experimental. I was the first. I didn't have anybody to talk to or ask, and it was scary. Nothing was guaranteed, but I thank God every day that it was actually my little sister who was my donor. She was 100% matched 2 out of 10. And I thank God for my sister, for my family, everybody that pushed me and rallied with me in the hospital and said prayers for me. And I thank God that I had a donor, but I know that there are many people out there who don't. And so when you have a transplant and you're cured and you remember what life was like, you know that you're blessed to be a blessing.
How old was your sister at the time?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. My little sister was 10 at the time of the bone marrow transplant. She just turned 10, and she was my rock. She's the one who spearheaded everything. So it was nothing. It was nothing but God, my family, and I'm just so thankful. But enough about me. You are phenomenal. You are an awesome person. I've read up on you before this, and I just wanted to ask you, because I know that you went through clinical trials and you had a couple things going on. I wanted to ask you, why is this so important to you? Why the donations and what led you to this?
Well, when I was diagnosed 25 years ago, I was diagnosed with terminal leukemia and I was given 3 years to live. And the only cure was a bone marrow transplant. And at the time, it was less than 1% chance for an African American to find a match. And the year that I was diagnosed, I believe there was like 8 African Americans out of 2,000 searching Americans that actually found a match. So the others had a bad outcome. And I knew a lot of them, and I kept doing bone marrow drives. I did it for the Army. I went all around the country, and I did drives in churches with these and fraternities. Anybody that I could get a crowd or get together and donate. And so that's been very important to me. It's been a passion for me because I never forget what it feels like to need a match and you can't find anyone on that list.
Yeah, for me personally, it's hard to imagine to wrap my brain around not being able to have a donor. So for me, I believe that I am blessed to be a blessing. We are blessed to be a blessing. All of us who have had successfully been able to be cured from whatever illnesses and diseases that we face, no matter how it happened, whether it was a clinical trial, bone marrow transplant study, stem cell transplant, it doesn't matter. I feel like for us, the blessing was the cure. And now it's important for us to use our voice and our stories and what we went through to try and recruit others so that they can save our lives. Because you never know. And I can't bring myself to wrap my brain around all of this. So I I'm just so thankful that I'm able to come here and to try to get people to help save lives. I'm glad.
It's just awesome because you had your turn plate 8 years ago and you could have been doing something else, but you're here and you're part of groundbreaking research, which paves the way for these transplants. That's just awesome.
Yes, it's awesome. I'm glad to be here. So glad to be here. Well, we have a jam-packed show for you all. Today we will be talking in the first half. We'll be talking to individuals. The 3 people. Well, I'm sorry, one of them is not going to be able to make it today, but we'll still play her info and talk and everything, so you'll understand the need. But we'll be trying to get donors for 3 sickle cell soldiers. So the first portion of our event will be geared towards people who are in need of transplants, bone marrow transplants. And then the second half of our program will be geared towards people who are donors, people who have donated. And there are 2 ways to donate. There are 2 ways to donate. So, so you'll hear about the 2 different ways that people are donating marrow to help save people with sickle cell and leukemia and all of these various diseases that can only be cured via a transplant or a clinical trial. But for this one, transplants. So right now we're about to get started. Let's go to our first guest. I want to show you a video of Tahir. Check him out.
Oh my God, Lord, we live. Oh Lord.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I'm over here talking and my mic all muted and stuff.
Okay. Thank you, guys. How are you doing today? I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you very much.
I'm pretty good. How are you doing today?
Oh man, I'm trying to make it through it. It was a rough day with all this weather, but
Yeah.
I'm okay. I just got out the hospital, but I'm fine. I'm fine. I appreciate being here.
Oh, you did? You just got out of the hospital?
Yeah, man, it was a rough week. It was a rough weekday for like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was kind of crazy.
Wow. Well, Tahir, now that I'm finally meeting you, I would like to start off by asking you, because you have sickle cell disease.
Yeah, I was born with sickle cell disease, SS, and I've dealt with it all my life. So as I say before, I think I have skin in the game, and I just wanted to make sure that I put voice behind the pain. With all this pain and honesty, somebody needs to press record.
Wow. I like that. Like, with all this pain and honesty, somebody needs to press record.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me ask you something. We're going to talk one-on-one. This is our first time ever meeting. And my apologies, the video was not able to play properly. So
No.
what we're going to do is try and see if we can discuss a little bit of the video so you all can get context as to what we're talking about. So Tahir, aka Stayfresh ATL.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Steve.
Yes. So let me start off by asking you, because your name is Stayfresh ATL.
Yes.
What do you do, Stayfresh ATL?
Oh, that's a good question, right? I pass out flowers. No, I'm not joking. I do a lot of different things, man. I'm firmly known throughout the industry as the Grustler, the king of the Grustler lifestyle, and that only means repeatable results. I'm a producer, manager, creative, and lifestyle specialist. I create solutions and I close deals. Some people are fast, some people can run fast, some people jump fast, some people are strong, some people. I'm the guy that gets everybody on the same page in the room to close out the deal. So I'm the closer.
Okay, I see you. Low key, that sounds like a stressful job. I'm just gonna let you know off the top. It sounds a little stressful to me.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how hard it is to get a few different parties on the same page for a win.
Yeah, I can imagine. I do real estate, so and when you were talking, I was thinking, dang, I know what you feel like.
Yeah.
I know the struggle. um, so I say all that to say, stress. I know that stress is one of the things that can exacerbate sickle cell and the weather, like you touched on earlier. And there, different things affect different sicklers differently. Like for me, when I had sickle cell, the weather impacted me. Being dehydrated, stress, all that stuff impacted me. So I wanted to ask you, how does your sickle cell disease affect you mentally, emotionally, and physically?
Well, that's a good one. I thank you for asking that question. I would like to address the mental aspect of it first. A lot of people get things confused when they see the lifestyle that you live outside of actually being a normal citizen, with entertainment as something magical, or like something that is not. So mental stress that I deal with. I'm going to speak for me first, but I'm pretty sure sickle cell patients can understand this. Is having a disease that doesn't readily affect your exterior, so people citizen with entertainment as something magical, or like something that is not. So the mental stress that I deal with. I'm going to speak for me first, but I'm pretty sure sickle cell patients can understand this. Is having a disease that doesn't readily affect your exterior, so people either downplay it or don't take it serious. People don't have empathy, so if they don't see it, it doesn't exist. If you're not limping, if you're not if you're not whining or crying, if you're not withering away, then it doesn't seem paramount as such. Blood disorders as cancer or leukemia or any other disease. It's just like being on Groundhog Day over and over again. And like the mental wherewithal that you have to go through that is bar none one of the most sound mind frames I think we could ever run into. Somebody who knows that they got to keep going on repeating, going through something, and all while having all kind of thoughts: suicide, anger, frustration, woe is me, all of these thoughts going through your head and having to compartmentalize. Financially, well, let's do physically, right? Physically.
Well, hold on. Before you
Yeah.
jump into physically, you touched on a good number of things. From a mental perspective, I know that when I had the okay, well, leading up to the transplant, when I was in and out of the hospital all the time, it's about like every month. If I wasn't in the hospital, I was in my doctor's office getting hydration and pain therapy in office and trying my best to avoid being hospitalized. And uh, I specifically remember one time going to the ER, and the lady there, I was wheeled into the wheelchair. My dad was going to go park, and I'm trying to get admitted. I'm in a full blown sickle cell crisis. I had been in it for days, and I just finally had enough. I was out of pain pills, and I needed a doctor. I needed somebody to help get this pain away because it was all over, and I was having such a hard time. I remember sitting there being wheeled in front of her and trying to get the paperwork and everything started, telling her I was in a crisis, and her telling me about her weekend partying, how she enjoyed herself, and how I didn't look like I was sick.
Yeah, that's really trippy.
Yeah, it's like, how can a medical professional, someone who is your job, your responsibility is to talk and admit me, take care of me, help me. I came here for a reason. I didn't come here I came here for a reason, and it blows my mind that there can be people in this industry who just judge you for
Yeah.
how you look because you don't look sick, or because we're not wearing our diseases on the outside. You can't see it.
Yeah.
That means
Or
that,
they
oh,
label
you
you
thank you.
drug taking behaviors. They label you when your treatment plan, and you go through certain things and you know what's going on. And especially for me being on tour, like I've been to 32 countries. I've been to every state in the union. Um, you know, there are 50 different medical laws and practices, 50 different health departments, 50 different regulations and doctors. It's all these things are the same, but they're truly different. There's a downtown in every city. There's a downtown Oakland, there's a downtown Omaha, there's a downtown Philly, there's a downtown Atlanta, there's a downtown Houston, New York, Manhattan. You got all these things are the same, but they're all different, and they all have their own rules and their own regulations. And
Mm-hmm.
Americans, we have to understand that this is a union, which means that things are going to be different at the CDC, at the health department, or there are going to be different protocols and procedures. And
Yes.
sometimes, when you go in and you know what you know, because they're not used to having sickle cell patients or people with those type of hematology oncology issues visiting their ERs. Now
Yeah.
you like the guy who's drug seeking behaviors because you're in town for a weekend trying to survive and get to your next city and your next destination safely and soundly, and it makes it extremely hard. So the mental.
You know what? I can only imagine what that's like, especially with you being in the entertainment industry and people seeing you with who you are and getting this the people that you're around. And the thing is that they don't know those people from a can of paint. They're like some of the coolest people. Like I think you said Grussel. I think that's a little Scrappy. Like little Scrappy, he is dope. Him and Baby, they're so cool. But
he's been through a lot with me.
Huh?
Me and Scrappy started together, you know what I mean? So my loyalty to him supersedes any other for the simple fact that he never judged me. To this day, I think he don't think I'm really sick. Like, I think in his head, he thinks, no fucking way my man is sick. This is my man's. Like, this man fucking move mountains, right? And he might be like, yo, he's okay because he sees me, and I always want to exude a certain level of strength and okayness because it makes everybody else be at ease. It's not really us that we gonna go through the pain. Yeah. It's the mental aspect that other people go through by not understanding the accountability and responsibility that they have to a person with these situations. It's like a higher level of accountability for somebody who's sick, that has a family member or a friend or an associate that has to be responsible for them. You know what I mean? A lot of people have a lot of things going on in their lives already with their own personal lives, right? Yet long having someone with this debilitating disease and having to be accountable for the way I think and move and act while they're sick. You know what I mean? That in itself is a task itself. And we as sickle cell patients have to take a lot of the expectations out of dealing with individuals. Therefore, we really won't hate society. And this is something that I always say, but it's something that we deal with daily that I don't think people really understand and digest on what it means to actually be sick or to be, when you go from full mobility to not being able to wipe your ass, like that's a real serious, that's very serious. So the people around you have to have a certain amount of empathy and they can't fall into compassion fatigue, which a lot of times we do because it's like, if it's not directly affecting us, you know what I mean? Like I don't have, you know what I mean? I don't have that many cares, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we have to be keenly aware of the difference between friends, families, and associates. And know the roles that each of these people play and know how to hold them accountable, because a friend is not, held at the same accountability as an associate. You don't want an associate to be doing the same things as your family is doing. Like, these are all things that we have to understand, because society teaches us to go out and find friends, to go out and get friends and to find friends. That's great, but it should be, a little bit more in tuned on knowing the roles of society. Mentally, you know what I mean? So we won't, be so devastated.
You touched on something, and I want to make sure I hit on that. When you're sick and when you have a disease like sickle cell disease or leukemia or any of these illnesses, you discover real quick who your real friends and family are. Yeah. You discover real quickly how you need to move. You always have to be thinking 2 steps ahead.
But some people call that.
I know that the urgency for you right now is.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just, some people call that slick because we have to know that. Like, I want to get that straight with anybody that's in this live or in this chat. A lot of people get confused, right? When people who have these illnesses move a certain way, right? Literally, in the life of a sickler, we only have about 3 minutes for you to waste our time. And I try to give this to everybody in life, right? So if someone wastes 10 minutes of your time, then goddamn 7 of them are your fault as a person, right? 7 of them are your fault. You have to be able to understand intention. You have to be able to understand your deeds, right? Because your actions become your deeds. So it's your intentions, then it's your actions, and then it's your deeds. Those are the only things that go to your grave with you. So we have to be aware of those people around us and make sure they understand that. And when they don't and we move different, they might say you acting funny or you trying to be slick or you using people when when we have to be keenly aware of protecting our mental peace, our physical peace.
Well, you know, it's so important that you said that. You've got to be protective of yourself, because your mental protects your health. All of them play into play. So you have to guard your time, your energy, and everything, so you can stay healthy. Now, what I want to do and try to do, because we kind of ran out of a little bit of time, but what I wanted to do was try and see if we could play your video one more time to show people who you are and what you're trying to do.
Man, that sounds good. I really appreciate that. Let's see if we can do that.
Okay, let's see.
Fresh initiative is very important.
Yes, I would love to see if we can drop a website or something for that. Thank you. Can you sit right here and just give me like a 5 seconds? Okay, so we gave it one more shot with the video, but I'm not thinking we're not gonna be able to get it to work right now. It's weird. But so right now, I didn't mean to cut you off. Let me give you a minute to be able to talk about exactly what you are doing, because you had so many valid points about how you have to move. And no, it's not about being slick or anything like that.
People confuse it like that. They don't understand. They don't understand what it feels like to be on your back. They don't know. So they label it with these descriptive adjectives that dismiss the root of the problem, which makes them accept it and sleep better at night. It's amazing psychology.
And you know what's so crazy is that, you know what, honestly, at a certain point, you have to know that I have to move a certain way, and it just comes with the territory. When you spend all of your life with the disease and you have to move a certain way in order to live and function, you can't go outside when it's too cold, you can't go out when it's too hot. You'd love to go out to a party and have fun with your friends, but right now you're in a full-blown crisis. So you want people to still see you.
It's been some times where I've actually been in a full-blown crisis, like no bullshit, right? Yeah. And I had to go to an event, like I was out of state, I was out the country. You know what I mean? Nobody there to help you, but the people you with, and you kind of still don't want to be sick in front of them, because pretty much, how many times is that going to happen before they be like, man, you know what? I just want him to be safe, and I think I might need to get another. You don't know. It's like it's so much at stake for a person with single cell. Like we're employable, we're okay, we're not. We're usually the hardest working people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like what commitment is like for a sickler. Every moment that we are awake on our feet has to go towards actual meaningful progress in life. A lot of sicklers are usually, go-getters. They want to be successful. And those who really cross that barrier and push through the pain to get that barrier of success and light, it is worth it. And it makes it comfortable, but no matter how much money I make, I've sold over 20 million records. Future, Esco, Scrappy, Little John, David Banner, T.I., all these people have millions of records, right? And it's tried, tested, and proven. These are things you can go back and Google and Stayfresh ATL or Google it. Like we have the plaques, the Nene. That was a huge song. It took me around the world. I created that, right? These are things that someone who they said was less than, right, not equipped, can't do, right? We accomplished it. But even with all of that success, I understand that no amount of money can buy me out of my situation, right? So I have to have a level of reality with people that sometimes people don't like. You know what I mean? Because you don't float off into the bullshit, and they wonder why. Like, why are you so grounded? Why are you still keeping it real? Why are you still in the community? Why? And it's not a question of why. It's understanding on what basis the decision was made. And when you've hurt like that, 3,000 days in the hospital, and you really have internalized pain, there is nothing you won't do for the have-nots, for the no representation, for the people that you know are getting the shaft in society, the people who get sick and got to go from pharmacy to pharmacy with no financial backing. You know, they're already on state supplemented, financial supplementation, and now I go to a pharmacy, and due to these fucked up HIPAA laws, my pharmacist can't talk to a pharmacist, and my doctor can't talk to it. But they went to school 8-9 years. Now I got to go on a hunt for my medicine with money that I don't have.
Yeah.
And you wonder why people crash out, and you wonder why so many people have felonies, and you wonder why so many sicklers are like, you wonder why. You know what I mean? There's only but so much you can force a person to do under those circumstances before they crack. And then we look at these people and say, look at this, bad citizen or this unproductive citizen. Well, really, as a society, we didn't really put up the or implement the strategies to really help people that are most
in need.
Yes.
In need.
We didn't put those things together, and then we sit and we judge, and it's like, it's so crazy. So no amount of money, I want that to be clear on here, no amount of money. Half the time it's not even about.
Stayfresh, you went out on me for a second.
My phone was, I'm sorry, someone was calling my line. I'm trying to.
It's okay. If they can stop calling for a second, we can finish up. I'm still here. But while we're waiting on you Tahir, I would love to let y'all know that Tahir has the Stayfresh initiative, and he would like you all to please text Stayfresh to 61474 to save his life or someone else's life with sickle cell disease. He had so many valid points, and I didn't want to interrupt him because he was on a roll and he was hitting on several things. But wow, I could talk to him again, and I would love to bring him back again and to hear more about him, because we have so much in common. I mean, what he was talking about, everything that he's been talking about, and the things he goes through, that's stuff that we all go through. At least there's one portion that, to some degree, us having sickle cell, when you become an adult, you go through it. If you hadn't gone through it yet, you will go through it. And for those people who don't believe that sickle cell disease is a real disease, they don't believe it because they can't see it. We don't exude, we don't exhibit different signs that we're sick. Just because you have a chronic illness, it doesn't mean you stop living. It doesn't mean you walk around and wear your illness on your sleeve. No, you are a fighter. We are fighters. We have to keep fighting. So we can't wear it on a sleeve. We can't do this. We gotta be strong. So right now, what I would love to do is to see if I can bring up the next individual, because I think there might have been a connection issue with Tahir. So I would like to bring up our next sickle cell soldier, Imani, and her friend, who is Hunter Haymore, who has also been cured of sickle cell disease. So Hunter is okay, I'm gonna let them talk about themselves. I just want to let you know. Hunter had a bone marrow transplant, and Imani wants to have a bone marrow transplant, and they both went to Spelman HBCUs. I didn't get a chance to go. I wanted to. But anyway, let's talk to y'all.
I guess you can go first, Hunter.
Okay. Well, first off, I want to say hello to everybody, and thank you so much for having me to join you here on this live. First things first, I'll introduce myself. As Constance said, my name is Hunter Haymore. I am a sickle cell survivor and a bone marrow donor, bone marrow transplant recipient. My sickle cell experience has been a roller coaster, a whirlwind, something that only I think God could think of, because I couldn't have thought of any of the things that I've gone through in my life. So I know that my circumstance must be because of him. That's all I'm going to say for right now. I'll let Imani introduce herself.
Okay. If y'all don't have to mute yourselves, you good. You good.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Imani Jackson, and in the future, I hope to get a bone marrow transplant. Like Hunter had said, and Constance both had said, me and Hunter have known each other for a really long time. I think even before she got her transplant, which was so crazy that we ended up at the same colleges. And I think, me being in college right now, I'm actually a bio major because I want to change the narrative of going to the hospital and having sickle cell and the stigma that comes with just having sickle cell alone, the medication, all of that. So yes, that's my little spiel.
Well, okay, so what I want to do is to talk about, okay, let me back up. We're all here to try and encourage people to join the Be the Match registry to take the swab test, which is completely free. We're looking for people between the ages of 18 and 44. They're the best candidates, and we're looking for people, African Americans or people of our descent, because we have a better shot of finding a donor that will genetically match us when we're the same ethnicity. So the reason why we're here is to encourage people to come and join the registry. So hopefully we can find a match for Tahir, aka Stayfresh ATL, our girl Imani, and Ava. She wasn't able to be here today, but hopefully we'll be able to play a video. So I want you all to really hear Imani's story, because Imani has a beautiful story and her friend Hunter also has a beautiful story. So Imani, I want to ask you, how does your sickle cell disease affect you mentally, physically, and emotionally? Oh, and spiritually.
Whoa, that is something I think takes a lifetime to explain, but again, I will try my best to explain it the best way I can. So I would say, to start off mentally, you're told that you're not going to live to a certain age. So I would say mentally, you're not even living for the future as much as you think you are. So people are like, I wonder what college I want to grow up. I want to grow up and be this. And you're like, yeah, I can't go outside right now. It's too cold. Let's go to the pool. It's a little cold now. Is the water warm? I think mentally it wears on you the fact that you don't want to believe you're lesser than. And when you're a kid, you're like, I'm the same. But you're not able to do as much. You're not able to, I would say, always be around. People don't even look at you the same, whether they realize it or not. People either have no empathy, as Tahir was saying, or they have too much to where you feel almost a little crippled.
Yeah, they're like, no, you worry about this. I'll get somebody else to do it. They're like, hold up, I can do this now. Just a moment. So it's so funny that you said that. But keep going.
Yeah, just like that alone, I feel like the constant battle you play mentally is trying to convince other people rather than yourself that you're capable, despite having your disease, despite having sickle cell. So it's like I literally was in the hospital and I'm still on like Zoom calls at work, just with my camera off, because I want people to know, like, I can still do the job. I'm still capable. I'm still worthy. And I think that's where the emotion comes in, because then you tend to doubt yourself all the time. So while people are doing, one thing, you're trying to do above and beyond, you're doing twice as much, but emotionally, you still go to sleep at night. You're like, did I do enough? Am I still sickle cell, or do I have sickle cell?
Yeah.
And then spiritually, you're constantly, every time you're sick, or for me, I'm Christian, every time I'm sick, I don't know if I'm asking God to cure me, make me better, or if I'm asking him why he did this to me. I don't know if I'm in the middle of the crisis, like, please make it stop, God. But then I'm like, I just had this SAT tomorrow. Why am I sick now? Why make me sick now? And then, I would say the lives around you are constantly telling you you're strong, but you feel weak.
Yeah. Yes.
And I would say that's how sickle cell, and not to get specific of my, I would say, experiences, but in general, I feel like that's how sickle cell affects me mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
Wow, you touched on so many things, and I felt them because I went through them in pursuing my dream at the time. What was my dream with modeling with Wilhelmina and Conshohocken, which was all the way up in Pennsylvania. It was the first time ever in my life that I did this, but I didn't let them know that I had sickle cell disease. It wasn't because I was ashamed of my disease. I always wore it with like a badge of honor, but I didn't want them to see me as anything less than, and like I couldn't do my job. I didn't want to give them the reason to not hire me, because this was my dream and this is what I wanted. And you know what, Imani? I am proud of you for sticking through everything, for showing up to work, because Lord knows you could have had an excuse. You really could have had. You could have pulled that. Now, you could have pulled that excuse and work. Now, Lord knows I probably pulled a couple different excuses, and I'm not even gonna relay when, but you could have did that, but you didn't. You showed up. You showed up and you showed out. So no matter what you do, you are a soldier. No matter what you do, how you do it, you're just going to be phenomenal at it. People are going to look at you and they're going to be like, I don't know how she does it. Oh, God, she's so strong. All this, all that. What? It's because it's who you are. You're built like this. And sickle cell and everything that you had to deal with, and dealing with this disease and living and encountering people all throughout your life, elementary, middle, high school, college, all these, everything built you and helped you mentally to get to where you need to be. So whenever we find the person who's going to donate bone marrow to this registry that's going to save your life, whenever we find that person, two things will happen. One, your life is going to completely change. And two, that inner drive that you have to become, I believe you said a pediatrician. I'm not sure if you said
Yeah,
that.
pediatric hematologist.
A pediatric hematologist, but that inner drive that you have, it will continue, and you'll be such a blessing to all of your patients because you've been there. You know what it's like, and I'm so excited to see what God has in store for you. Now, Hunter, I wanted to also ask you that same exact question. As someone who was cured of sickle cell disease, and I'll let you touch on that a little bit, a little background, but the question is the same. How did sickle cell disease affect you mentally, physically, and emotionally?
Okay. Before I even answer that question, I just want to say that Imani has me in my feelings over here. Everything that you said, Imani, is so true and it's so honest, and it's coming straight from the heart as a sickle cell patient. Like, you can just tell the authenticity. It's coming from a real place. And I'm just so happy just to have you as a friend and have you as a sister, because it's like we understand each other on levels that nobody else gets. So whenever you talk about your experience, I'm just like, oh my God, like, I understand exactly where you're coming from. When you said you were in the hospital, but you were still on a Zoom call. Like, I have photos of me in the hospital getting my transfusions once a month, and I'm still on the computer doing homework. And I always ask myself, like, why didn't I ever take a break? why didn't I ever just stop? Why didn't I ever just say, Hunter, you're in the hospital. You can't do those things. Like, take this time. So the mindset mentally what sickle cell does to a person is, in my opinion, I feel like it makes you a hustler, because I always try to figure out, why do I keep going? Why do I keep pushing forward? Like, sometimes I'm like, Hunter, people who have no medical history or who have no medical issues would take a PT day, a personal day, any day of the week, and just say because. But sickle cell patients, we feel like, oh no, we have to keep going further. We have to try harder. And it's because we don't want to be defined by our circumstance. And that's why we continue to keep going. So it's so interesting to hear other people's stories, and I see myself in their story. So the only part that I don't see in other people's story is the fact that they have had the opportunity to be cured as well. And that's something that I want to change. And this is why I'm an advocate for Be the Match. And I'm an advocate for sickle cell patients. And I'm an advocate for the donor registry, because I can relate to their stories on so many levels. But then it's like they can't relate to mine. And I feel like the part that everybody should be able to relate to is seeing your life change. Like seeing that transition in your life from being mentally held back by disease that you are suffering with to saying, I had that and I was still on top of everything. So now that I'm cured and I'm healthy, I'm on top of everything even more, because now there's nothing to mentally hold me back from what I want to go get. I can just go get it.
Like that was
there's so many things I want to say. There's so many things.
No, I understand and I get it. That was so awesome. Yes. God, y'all are so on point. You don't even realize it. I see so much of myself in both of you, and what I've went through and being cured, and then what I and what it was like before. But real quick, what I wanted to ask you is is how, because we're here to get donors and people to join the registry, how important do you think it is for African Americans to register to be on the donor registry?
So I would say, like, I don't want to just say it's important. I want to say, to keep it relevant in the social time that we are in, if lives truly matter, there is more than one way to save one in your community. There is more than one way to save a life in your community. We can stop violence, but we can also bring optimism. We can also bring lives to us. You don't understand how having sickle cell doesn't just affect the person who has sickle cell. It affects their family, constantly fearing for that loved one. It affects the community, because now a person that's so amazing, could bring such talent to their community, is lost because they spend days in the hospital. They spent days explaining to teachers that you were in the middle of having acute chest and you couldn't breathe. So, I feel like, there's something that is so special about sharing the like your life. I feel like when people donate or bone marrow, they're sharing their life to make another person's better. And I feel like, just to stop to like Hunter go, but there's more than one way to save a life. I'm just gonna stop there. And I think that's why it's important for people to join the registry in general, but especially people that look like us.
Absolutely.
So,
because they're saving lives of people that look like us. And yes, I'm not even going to dwell on that. You did absolutely perfectly.
So that was beautiful, Imani. I just want to be authentic and genuine in this space, since we are all here together today. And I just want to say that my life's purpose now is to make people understand the importance of registering to become a donor, whether that's bone marrow or stem cell. There are 2 ways to donate, as Constance said earlier. Bone marrow or stem cell, you can still save a life without being admitted into the hospital. And like Imani says, there are more than one ways to make Black Lives Matter, or to, help just society. It doesn't have to be a Black life. It can literally be any life. At least you're saving a life. But the thing, in my opinion, is like, it's so important to register to become a donor, because there are things that are happening in my life that I never would have had the opportunity to do if it was not for receiving a bone marrow transplant. I received my bone marrow transplant by an unrelated donor. I have no idea who the person is. I only know 2 things about them, and that is, it is a man, and he's from a whole other country. Because of security reasons, I'm not allowed to know anything else. But he has literally changed my life and everything I do. And sometimes, still to this day, everybody gets tired, everybody gets fatigued. And I'm like, Hunter, no, get up. Like, somebody literally changed your life so you can get up and go get the things that you want to go get. Like, the days when I'm tired and I'm just like, well, other people, healthy people, are calling out of work. Why can't I call out of work? I'm just like, no, because that's not what God made you for. Like, he changed your life for a reason. So my life is now to help change other people's lives. I would also just like to share, maybe this will motivate somebody. There's a 22% chance that an African American will ever receive a match through the donor registry. And I would just like
tell them. I'm sorry. I'm so excited for what I think she's about to say. Go.
It's 23. Go on. Go
23. Excuse me. Those were stats from last year. Okay, 23. Okay. There's a 23% chance, and like, I want my story, as I said earlier, to be everybody else's story. And there's no reason why we shouldn't have the amount of donors that we need in this world, when there are plenty of people that are healthy and willing and capable of donating. And I would just like to share the fact that in 2011, when I registered to be a part of the bone marrow donor registry to see if I even had any matches, I had 15 perfect matches in the bone marrow donor registry. And an African American today doesn't even have one. Somebody can be on their deathbed right now and they don't have one. I was not on my deathbed. I did not have that same story. I did not have that circumstance, but I know that I have brothers and sisters who are suffering from either sickle cell or other blood disorders who are. And it's imperative to me that I go out here and I advocate for them, because my story wasn't their story, and I had 15. So if I had 15, that means that it was destined for me to have this procedure and to change somebody else's life. So I challenge you.
15, that's the quote for the day. 15. I was so excited when you said that. I was so excited because literally, like, I want to be able to relate to Hunter's story in the future. I want to be able to relate to Constance's story in the future. So I get it. Like, join the registry.
Yeah. Please join the registry. We need y'all. We need your support. We need your lives and your voices. Everything that is you, everything that God just naturally gave you. We need that so that we can take you, who you are, and help save the lives of others, so that you can live on in other people. And what you did to donate to somebody else, you say, not only did you save somebody else's life, but that person is going to go out and hopefully save other people's lives, whether it's verbally, physically, it doesn't matter. You have the ability to save a life. And we need you and all of your God-given melanin, blood juices, all that. We need you to join the registry. So I would like to transition to the side with the donors, so that everyone could get the perspective of what it's like to be a donor, because there's 2 ways. So let me turn it over to my co-host, Mel, and I'll see you later.
It's really great to hear this information, this awareness that Tahir gave and that Imani gave. For example, Tahir been in the hospital for 3,000 days. I mean, that I had to do the math to see how many years that was, and that's just to hear that and see that, we can't see the pain in sickle cell anemia. So it's very important that we stay out here and we find matches so people that such as Constance and Hunter, that they have matches just like Constance and Hunter. And it's a perfect stranger that saved Hunter's life. And that's just that's just mind blowing. But right now, I want to bring on a patient, a leukemia survivor, and his donor. So the patients and the donors can meet each other. They've met each other, and I want them to tell their story.
What an exciting day to disrupt the disparity. Let me just say, every guest so far, oh my God, you have me so hyped over here. Everyone. I mean, Constance doing a great job and everything. But let me just say, my name is Jermaine Reed, and I am a volunteer ambassador for Beat a Match. I'm also a bone marrow transplant recipient. So I just recently celebrated just over 10 years from having bone marrow transplant. And today I have my donor, Montrell Jones, here to interview with us as well. And it's excited. Why don't you go ahead and greet everyone real quick, Montrell?
Hey everybody, I just want to say it's been a great show so far. Definitely a pleasure to always talk to my brother Jermaine. So let's get this show on the road, Jermaine. Well, tell them about you. Tell them about what kind of cancer you had.
Yeah, well, I was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, and I began to feel extreme fatigue, kind of latter part of 2009. And I was actually playing basketball in a parent versus teachers basketball game. And I noticed, man, I was huffing and puffing like no tomorrow. And, at first I didn't think anything of it. And then I started having blood clots coming out of my nose. And, then things begin to kind of get weary for me, So it's very important for men to have physicals, right? So rather than me staying in the unknown, I decided that, I need to go and have a physical to see what's going on. And I went, and when I did go, I didn't think anything would come out of it in the sense of having leukemia, right? So long story short, they called me back, told me that I had some abnormalities in my blood. My blood work was coming back abnormal. My platelets was very low. My white blood cell count was very high. So from that point, man, I received a diagnosis, and I'll tell you that really changed my life. I'm married. I have 3 kids. So that was devastating news in the beginning. But that was the beginning of the road. So let me ask you this: what made you do the swab test?
So it was actually I was in what we call Airman Leadership School. For those who don't know, I'm active duty Air Force for 21 years. So that was back in 2003 as a volunteer event for the whole class. We decided to all get registered. So it was about 100 something personnel in the class. So we all got registered.
Okay, good deal, good deal. What was that experience like for you when you found out? Well, let me ask you this. Let me back up. Did you ever think that you would be a match for someone?
Honestly, no. I mean, so many years had passed by. I wasn't even thinking about it anymore.
Yeah, because you did the swab back in 2003, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So how was it when you received the call?
So initially it was just a random email in my box. So I was like, who is this? Because you're at work and you check your email, you're usually getting work email. So when you get something out of the norm, you're like, what's this? And you open it up and it was asking, was I still interested? And of course I said yes. And then I received a phone call the next day.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Let me tell you, I didn't know much about the transplant process, having bone marrow transplant or anything. All I knew was I'm about to fight for my life. There is no way I'm about to die. I had never been in a hospital before for anything. So, once they did tell me that I was in remission, I was like ready to go. I was ready to get out. But I want to back up a little bit. Even before transplant, kind of like what Imani and Hunter said, dude, I stayed active. I was in the hospital for just over close to 2 months. And then I had 100 days straight in the clinic. And I was a salesperson at the time. And during that time, I was waking up every morning, letting the technicians make the bed up in the hospital. And I would sit beside the bed with all the intravenous things going into me, the medicines, the chemo and everything. And I would sit on my laptop and I would start emailing people out in the business world that I had been dealing with before. And I would start drafting up contracts. And I would go to the nurse and I would ask them, hey, can you fax this to this number? And when they would fax it to that number, it would come to my email. And I started sending those contracts out. And I was getting deals closed as I was going through this process. So it took my mind off of leukemia. It took my mind, it gave me a break because I did it from 8 a.m. till about 5 or 6. So I did not get into bed. So I would walk around the hospital with the pole and everything, just walking around like just trying to stay active because I didn't want to shrivel up on this. I wanted to keep going at this, saying, look, I'm gonna live and I'm not gonna die. So let me kind of back up a little bit, man, because I'm getting too excited and I can get preachy. But I want to hear a little bit more about your procedure. Like, what was it like? I remember when we first met, man. Oh, that was awesome. When we met in person, it was very humbling for me. And I'm so used to giving. Now I'm on the receiving end. So you stated that when they called you, you kept getting these questions asked to you about, do you want to continue the process? Even from the time you flew in. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, after the initial trip to DC to make sure I was a good match, they flew me and the family back for the actual procedure. And every day when I was going to get my daily shots, they would ask, do you still want to continue? And I would say, yes. Somebody's life depends on this, so definitely. So every day I went. So on that 5th day was the donation. So
that is very key, what you just said. When someone decides, I knew nothing about this. All I knew was on May 28th, I'm having bone marrow transplant. I didn't think about they're going to change the date. They're going to do something different. All I knew was May 28th, I'm going to have that transplant. So I just recently realized this probably 4 months ago. I was on a call with someone from Be the Match and they shared that with me and I had to get off the phone because of my emotion. To know that you committed and once you did, you were settled in your mind that nothing was going to stop you from saving someone else's life. And I would say to those that are out there, once you commit, and it's one of the greatest gifts that you can give anyone. It is the greatest gift that you can give anyone, to give them their life back. So I really thank you for that. And let's see here. One other thing I want to say now. This is very important. You had more than 500 people to join the registry, and I want you to kind of talk about that. We're short on time, but just talk about that a little bit.
Basically, from the time I donated and seeing how easy it was, I was like, more people got to do this. So I contacted the registry I went through and was like, how can I help? And they was basically, we can send you kits and you can get people signed up. So I started going to unit to unit, getting people signed up. And then when I went to a different base, I did the same thing. So I'm at a new base, I'm going to start doing the same thing once we settle down with the COVID and stuff and we're allowed to actually get a little bit more of a mass gatherings and stuff.
Man, that's great. A lot of people don't know this, but every 4 minutes, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Every 4 minutes. So look, we have displayed our passion for what this cause is all about. We are the cure. We are the cure. So I'm just going to say thank you, Montreal, again, publicly here for the first time on a live show. Thank you very much, man. I mean, I can't even say it in words. So I know that that they may have more questions for us. But man, thank you very much. I mean, I can go on and on.
We know it. Brother, I appreciate you.
I have just one question for you. I know, Jermaine, you are a father. How old was your child when you were diagnosed? And how old is your child now?
Mel, that's amazing, man. That was, first off, that was one of the first things that choked me up. I remember when they called me and told me that I had to report to the bone marrow unit and no one under 12 could see me. Well, my oldest son was like 10. My son below him was probably like 6 or 7. And then our daughter was, oh man, she was really young. So that was devastating. But the doctor did set up a room, sterilized room, and allowed them to come. And then I started using Skype. I can't hear you, Mel.
Montreal, you said you have added 500 people to the registry so far, and it was stated that from every 430 people that join the registry, one life is saved. So have you had any feedback as far as, have there been any?
I definitely know of 2 confirmed matches. I mean, I haven't kept up with all 500 people, of course, but definitely know of 2 confirmed matches.
Okay, so that's a total of 3 lives saved. So yeah, that is just fantastic, and really, you know, and like with Jermaine, it's not just his life. He's a father, he's a husband. So you're saving that unit. So when the kids grow up, he'll see them graduate high school and colleges. You know, this is awesome, and we thank you for what you're doing, and yet you continue to do. Thank you. So right now we're going to move on with 2 more donors, and we have Katie, and we also have Tanisha. And Tanisha, I'm going to start with you and ask you to tell us about when you donated and why you donated. And right now you're on mute.
Sorry, guys. Hey. So I joined the registry in 1999, and then I was called in 2017. I have completely forgot about it, but then once they explained to me what it was and what I could be doing to help somebody, then I was more than on board to help. And I did my donation in 2018 of February, and last I heard, the person was still alive, so I was able to successfully save a life. No, you're muted.
And Katie, how about yourself?
Yeah, so I actually joined the registry in the fall of 2017, and then shortly after, in the summer of 2018, got a call to donate. And so then I went on to donate in September for the first time via bone marrow, and then actually got called again in the fall of 2019 to donate for the same patient. So I went on to donate again in December of 2019. So I actually had the opportunity to donate both ways, and super available to help anyone as quickly as I could, and definitely jumped to the option of making sure that I was available and ready to help.
So you donated both ways, stem cell and through marrow.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old were you when you donated?
I was about 21 and 22 when I donated. So they're about a year apart, since it was in September 2018 and then again in December of 2019.
I see. And so both of you were about 20 when you first signed up, 19 and 20, which I think is really great, because that's, the ages that we need is 18 to 44. And it's really, I think that's awesome. And Tanisha, so you're still on the list, and you said was it the reason that you donated was it like a
No, it was no one I knew. And after hearing this story, I know so much more than I ever even knew. And I'm so thankful that I was able to do this, because I didn't know how hard the people dealing with these issues had to go through, how much they had to go through. I've never been sick, and I'm just so thankful that I was able to be a match for somebody. I pray that I could be a match to somebody else, because this experience definitely helped me in multiple different ways in my life. And I'm grateful and thankful, and I'm on board to do whatever I can do to help anybody else save another life. If I could save another life, I just want everybody to join the registry and do what we can.
So it wasn't for a specific person that you donated. It wasn't like, hey, there's this little boy or somebody.
So yes, there was a little African-American boy in San Diego, California, where I'm from. So a lot of the people in the Black community, we went down there and we all registered. I was not a match for him. I don't know if he was able to find a match. About 20 years later is when I was able to be a match for somebody.
That's awesome. And Katie, well, you were on a college campus, and was there a reason that you donated? Would you just walking by a table or something, or
I was familiar, nothing in particular, nobody I knew in particular I was registering for, but my mom, she's a registered nurse, and I know she had talked about it previously, and she's actually also on the registry, and she's gone and called a few times, but never was selected as a final match. So I was really familiar with it. But like Tanisha said, like afterwards and after donating, I've just learned of so many people who need donors. And so I've really become a part of the mission to help get as many people to join the registry as possible to make sure that everyone has an equal chance of saving their lives. So since then, and learning about it and realizing how much there is to do and how many people can get involved with a simple swab of the cheek, I wanted to make sure that it was a main priority of mine. And that's exactly what I've done. But no, I just joined the registry because I was familiar with it because of my mom. But since I learned about so many people who are in need of a donor.
That's fantastic. And I really appreciate both of you coming here today, and to appreciate both of you continuing to be a part of this process, of the mission of this cause. And I just thank you, and I look forward to continuing to volunteer with both of you. So thanks so much for joining.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to move on to some prizes and a little contest here. I'm going to my co-host Constance take back over with the introduction of what we're going to do.
Okay, everyone. So I think we should play a game. So what we're going to do, because you all have stuck in here with us for, let's see, almost an hour and a half, I think we should do some giveaways as a thank you for participating. So for those of you who've been paying attention, there were a couple little gems that were dropped during this whole entire event. So we would like you all to go to Kahoot, and we'll put the message up in a second. And there'll also be a little code on where what to put in so you can get to our game. But we want you all to put in the code and take and play along with us and win some prizes like t-shirts, cell phone wallets, fanny packs, the gift bundle. Yeah, so right now we're just waiting on our Kahoot link so that we can play some games and give away some stuff. And hopefully a few of you out there, whether it's you, your friend, your family, your coworker, your frenemy, anybody, tell them about donating. Encourage them to donate. We need it. Okay. Here's the game. So in order to join the game, we need you to go to www.kahootit. That's www.kahoot.it. Lord Jesus. Or you can download the Kahoot app. And the pin for the game will be 4064132. Once again, the link to play the game so you can take the wonderful little easy quiz. I can tell you it was easy, and win some stuff. The link for it is www.kahoot.it, and the game pin number is 4064132. We have a few things to give away as a thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to give away some nice free stuff. Who doesn't like free stuff? I know I do. Oh, and here's one of the t-shirts that I'm rocking for this campaign/initiative. It is "We Are the Cure" for Be the Match Atlanta. Come on, we need a couple more players. Otherwise, one person's going to get all the stuff. Well, me and her, because I want a couple more t-shirts, and I could use a nice little fanny pack, and I'd like a little gift bundle, and okay, I could use a cell phone wallet too. Mine need a little work. Once again, the link to join the game is www.kahoot.it, and the game pin is 4064132. Come on. We'll give you 2 more minutes to join in. Then we're going to give away a whole bunch of stuff. And for those who will be the winners, what we'll have you do is you'll DM Xavier S. Brandon, and he will get your contact information, and we'll give you your prizes. But in order for you to get the prizes, you got to log on, sign in, so you can play to win. Once again, the link is www.kahoot.it. That's www.kahoot.it. The pin is 4064132. And we'll get started in, I'm going to give it one more minute. At 7:26, we're going to start this puppy. Okay. Okay, maybe we're about 30 more seconds away, so hold on. We have a good number of players. I wonder if I could join. I like the gifts. Okay, it's 7:26. Let's play the game. Be the Match 18. We Are the Cure for Ava, Tahir, and Imani. Take the quiz. Are you ready to be the cure for Ava, Imani, and Tahir? Yes, I'm ready. No, I'm not ready. I need a little more time, or I'm waiting for my friends to join. Click your answer. Oh, we have 4 who hit it right. Yes, I'm ready. That's the answer. Okay. So far, Trail is in the lead. I need y'all to keep up. Question number 2. How much does it cost to be a donor? $100, $500, $1,000, or is free? You have 5 seconds. Lock in your answers. Oh, we have 4 people who answered correctly. It's free. The cost to be a donor is free. Okay, next question. Uh-oh, Trail, you still in the lead. Hunter is the second, and TT tie. Okay, we're doing pretty good. Come on. Question number 3. How many different ways can you donate? Is answer 1, 2, 3, or 4? Once again, how many different ways can you donate? Is the answer 1, 2, 3, or 4? Yep, the answer is 2. 5 people got it right. Okay, Trail is in the lead and Hunter is right after him. Come on, let's keep it going. Question number 4. This is a true or false question. Are African American? Oh, okay. True or false question. African Americans have a 23% chance of finding a match. Is that true or is that false? Please lock in your answers. You have 5 seconds. 2, 1. True. The answer is true. African Americans have a 23% chance of finding a match. Oh, Trail is killing it. Okay, Trail. Question number 5. What percentage of the registry are African Americans? Is it 4%, 50%, 23%, or 75%? And you got the answer right. It is 4%. And Hunter is in the lead. Okay, Trail, you still have a chance to catch up. So do you, TT. Question number 6. Name a disease that we've discussed that can be cured by a blood transplant. Now, this could be a tricky question. Is the answer dementia, Parkinson's, ALS, or sickle cell? Once again, the question is, name a disease that we've discussed that can be cured by a blood transplant. Is it dementia, ALS, Parkinson's, or sickle cell? Please lock in your answers. You have 15 more seconds. Name a disease that we've discussed that can be cured by a blood transplant. Is it dementia, Parkinson's, ALS, or sickle cell? What's the answer? Sickle cell. That's the answer. Okay, so Hunter's still in the lead, and Trail, TT, Ty, and Kenya. Okay, let's go. 3 more questions. True or false? Your blood type matters when finding a match. Is that true or is that false? Does your blood type matter when finding a match? Is that true or is it false? Please lock in your answers. It's false. Your blood type doesn't matter when finding a match. There are other criteria. Hunter is still in the lead. 2 more questions. Now, this is a sticky one. Does it hurt to donate? Yes, no, pain is relative, or there may be some discomfort. What's your answer? Does it hurt to donate? The answer is there may be some discomfort. There are two different ways to donate. And one of the ways that we've discussed primarily is the marrow donation, and that one is where they put the donors under general anesthesia, and they extract the marrow. Now it can be a little bit painful, and they can be a little sore. That's what we're talking about. So everybody who's donated says they had a little discomfort for a little minute, and then it just got easier and easier. And in the end, they were so excited and happy that they did it. So yeah, is it completely pain-free? I'd be lying if I said yes. But is it worth it? Yes, it is. Okay, Hunter's in the lead. Question number 9, true or false? We are looking for African Americans between the age of 18 and 44 to join the registry. True or false? We are looking for African Americans between the ages of 18 and 44 to join the registry. Is that true or is that false? The answer is true. We're looking for people, African Americans between the ages of 18 and 44 to join the registry. Hunter's in the lead. Okay, last question. Let's go. Okay. When's the best time to join the registry and save a life? Is it never? Is it now? Is it in a week? Or is it next year? What's the answer? When's the best time to join the registry and save a life? The answer is now. Now's the time. Thank you all so much. We appreciate this. Oh, snap. Let's see who the winners are. So in number 3 is Ty. Number 2 is Trail. And number 1 with the score of 8782 is Hunter. Woo! You go, girl. Can you send me a gift? You know, like I want to win something too. You know, like yay. Okay, Mel.
Okay, guys, that was great, Constance. Great questions, and enjoyed the game. And just thank that all of the donors for showing up. They're my heroes. You know, I can't save a life, but they were able to save a life, and it's it's just you know, can't put it into words. And I thank the folks who are searching for a donor for showing up too, because it's very hard to do. It's very hard to put yourself out there. It was hard for me, and because it's for me, it was showing that I was that I need help, like Jermaine said. He's a giver, but it's very humbling. So I just thank everybody for being a part of this. I've learned so much about sickle cell, and I really thank you guys for making it clear and really making others aware of what sickle cell disease is about, and the part that you can't see. I mean, that needs to be talked about, and all the different complications that you have within the health system and on work and colleges, campuses. I
absolutely agree with you, Mel. This was a awesome event, and I would love to hear more, at least get some last words from the two people, the two people we were able to interview today, because Ava was able to make it. I'd love to hear more, get some last words from Imani and Tahir. And real quick, before we get the last words, all the people, all the individuals who played the game, please DM Xavier S. Brandon so that we can get you all your gifts. And Xavier, I want one too. And I think Stayfresh to here, and I think Imani. Okay, I think they need one too. Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead.
absolutely, I'm absolutely honored and thankful to be here. This was a very interactive. This was very eye-opening. I want everybody to go sign up for Be the Match. Right, we want to save some lives. Remember, when you text the A team to 61474 or Stay Fresh, one word, no spaces, to 6174, you'll get this beautiful package delivered to your house, and you can save a life. Right, you know what I mean? The cure for blood cancers is in your hands. Thousands of patients with leukemia and other hematology oncology diseases need our help. I need your help. You get this package sent to your house. It comes with this nice little package here. You swab your cheeks with this right here. You put it right back in there. Put it in the envelope, and it's that simple. You could save somebody's life, and I just want everybody to know. Go follow the hashtag Fresh Sales. That's FRESHCELLS, and come join in what we're doing on bringing awareness to the bone marrow registry for our Black community, and just save some lives all around the board. So it's that simple, guys. Okay, Be the Match. They footing the bill on the post-it, so don't worry. And Imani, her story touched me as well. Like that, my sister's name is Imani. It's crazy that would be your name, and just your strength and me being able to see the strength and the courage in your story lets me know that I'm not alone, and it lets us know that we can push forward, and shedding light on this matter is very important. So thank you guys for letting me use your platform. I appreciate it.
And I would just like to say your story, just what you're doing and how you're persevering and the resilience you have, that was what encouraged me to, come on and share my story. So I thank you, Tahir. And I thank you, Mel and Constance, for even wanting to host this, still advocating for something like this. I would say Tahir kind of said it all in terms of what you can do, but I would say again, please join. And, the love that you were showing in the comments is like literally takes 2 seconds to show that same love to a life. Okay. So, thank you.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Tahir, Imani, and Ava, who couldn't be here today at the event. Go ahead, plug those stuff. Plug it. So we want to thank you all for showing up today and for being a part of this event. Our goal is to try and encourage people, the right candidates between the ages of 18 and 44 in the African American community. We need those individuals to join the registry so that they can save the lives of, hopefully, Tahir, Imani, and Ava, who you didn't get to meet, a little 8-year-old princess. I think she's in the hospital right now. I don't know. But thank you so much for joining this event. Does anybody else have anything else to say?
Yeah, man, look, we got to make sure we show y'all some love. I want to take a picture of this live. We got to, y'all throw y'all peace signs up.
Okay, hold on. I got to look cute now.
Get right now. We going digital. We about to go viral. But y'all ready?
Yeah.
Everybody peace sign up now. All right. Yeah. Thank y'all. That was dope.
You welcome. You welcome. If I look crazy, just Photoshop me. It's all right.
Let me get one. You can have all the fun.
You taking one too?
Yeah.
Let's switch it up. Let's switch it up.
All right. Got it.
All right. All right, y'all. It's been real. It's been fun. Please comment, join, be the match registry, do all of this lovely stuff. Support all of us. Support Stay Fresh. And hey, Black Lives Matter. Join. Save us. Join the registry. All right, y'all. Bye.
Thank you.